Welcome boys and girls to the gaming crib. I wanted to show you my rig from where I'm flying in VR, because I have had some questions about the setup, and I have a very unique setup that I have built myself. It is not yet completed, but nothing will ever be completed. So I have help from my son Benjamin, who is behind the camera filming this. Hello Benjamin. And yeah, let's start with the computer. You can see the specs in the video description. It's quite a powerful rig. Newest graphic cards, RTX 280 Ti and Intel Core 9 processor and whatnot, but that doesn't really help with the Xplane that only utilizes one core, but it does provide some extra power, especially when you play in VR. And I'm currently studying the world flight route for 2019. I will not be able to be there for the start, but hopefully I can play catch up and join the rest of the community on the world flight. But let's get on to the rig. So I basically use the car seat, because gaming chairs and office chairs like this one here tend to be just overpriced. Basically, they're not good. I don't like to sit in them for longer periods, whereas car seats are made for good seating and for being seated for a long while, and you can adjust it as well. So I just went to a scrapyard and I ripped out a seat from a car and paid maybe $25 for it, so it's a very cheap seat and you have very good seating. I have mounted it on a MDF plate and bolted it onto here so I can adjust the seat as I like, which is quite practical, and also gives you better immersion because you can actually do that in the airplane you're sitting in. I have mounted a Buttkicker Gamer 2, I think. If I can borrow the camera, I can show you down here. Don't know if there's light enough, but I have bolted it onto here, the Buttkicker. And the reason I have adjusted the height here is simply to spread the vibration. Here's the camera back, Benjamin. To spread the vibration out into the entire plate, so you get true immersion. The yoke is Saitek standard yoke that you all know, and I have mounted it on the plate and then to the platform itself. And it is positioned so that it will fit perfectly once I'm sitting in VR and I'm reaching for the yoke. Also using the Saitek roll pedals, which I have bolted to the plate. And here I have my mouse, because sometimes in VR you need to go in and do certain things where you need the mouse. And on the back side here I have an extra keyboard, a USB wireless keyboard, so I can push enter and stuff like that when using better pushback. It might look funny once you sit there. You basically look like an idiot staring into the wall for hours like this. But once you put this on, you are really sitting in the aircraft and are looking around, and you basically very quickly forget where you're actually sitting. So the platform, or the sim platform as I call it, is working really nicely for me. Also, I have plenty of room. Let's just put down this here. Plenty of room around me to move around with the controllers, so I won't bump into things. I can adjust and turn knobs and do whatever I need to do in the cockpit and look around. I can even get out of my cockpit seat and I can walk backwards in the aircraft. I can go all the way to the pantry and back in again in VR. I'm using the Oculus Rift S. I did use the CV1 before, and I might do a review on it later on. I've decided to keep it. It has some drawbacks and it has some positives to it. So for now I'm quite happy with it actually. Also the controllers, the inside-out tracking is giving me some advantages to just instead of having the sensors placed. And of course my trusty headset, ADX, quite happy with it, gives me good sound and has a good voice output sound as well, which is important when you are flying on FlightSim. Let me see, did I forget to show you anything? There's the controller for the Buttkicker, so I could turn it on and off. Basically all I need now is a movement platform, so I have some sensation of flight, but that will be for another time. Also using extra hard drives for all my ortho. I am working on getting ortho for most of the world, so I have almost 30 gigabytes or terabytes, sorry, of data storage, so that's quite good. And I can show you here, I made a modification, and it's not in the way. You can see there's two bolts sticking up here. It's not optimal, but I use it for, just come here, for this here. So I can basically mount this here rig. For now I have just used it for playing some casual War Thunder, and War Thunder is phenomenal in VR. But you are at a severe disadvantage when you're playing against mouse and keyboard players, because even though War Thunder has optimized for VR, they are also optimized for mouse and keyboard players, obviously, so you are at a serious disadvantage without looking around, whereas mouse and keyboard players use the mouse and keyboard, they can react fastly and they have third-person view, whereas you are sitting in the cockpit and trying to use the joystick. But I might actually, I do have plans to alter this slightly, so in time I can fly the Airbus, but for now it's the Boeing 737, which the platform is optimized for. So yeah, that is basically my virtual cockpit, and I can recommend using a car seat and building a platform like this. It doesn't have to cost you that much, and it really adds so much more to the immersion instead of sitting in front of your computer in your wheelchair, office chair with wheels and with things not really placed. You might have noticed that I haven't got the physical throttle. I found that it gets in the way when I try to use the instruments, and it works quite fine for me to use the virtual throttle in VR. So basically that's my setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions about my setup, how it was built, or have any ideas for improvements on it, then feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below here. And don't forget to subscribe and to like. Thank you.